Good evening and welcome to the Hogue Sweet Life Cooking Demonstration, June 2021. My name is Megan Gonzalez. I'm a registered dietitian, certified diabetes care and education specialist at the Mary and Dick Allen Diabetes Center at Hogue. And I'm here tonight with Executive Chef Davis Cruz. Our theme for tonight is Summer Favorites. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box and we will answer them either throughout our presentation or at the end of our presentation. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Chef Cruz.
Thank you, Megan. Well, here we go again. Another recipe extravaganza.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. My name is Davis Cruz. I am the executive chef at Hogue Newport Beach, and I support Irvine Hogue Hospital also. I'm a long life diabetic. I do wear a pump, an insulin pump. And when people say that it's difficult, and I tell them, absolutely, you're absolutely right. It's really difficult. So it's a matter of managing your diabetes one day at a time and just making little adjustments for your health one step at a time. It's not like a weight loss system. It's just one little step at a time because this is a condition that we're going to have for the rest of our lives. So one little change to modify our behaviors because mindful eating is so important. And we tend to snack, we tend to sit down on the couch, we tend to grab whatever it is, tasty, salty, fattening, correct?
Right.
And we start eating before we know our sugar level is out of whack, and so that's not actually controlling it. So it's just be mindful of everything that you put in your mouth and how it's going to react in your body, how it's going to turn into sugar. So we will talk a little bit more in depth about that as the class continues, right?
Yes.
So with further ado, shall we?
Let's get started.
So we have a summer berry salad. So it's a spinach, avocado, and summer berry salad. I'm excited about this salad because, you know, we're in season right now. Strawberries are in season, blueberries are in season. Most of you will say, what about these other fruits? So let's leave that for later if you ask that question. And so spinach is it's a hearty leaf, and it tends to, you can cook it, you can wilt it, you can eat it raw, and it all depends on the vinegar or the vinaigrette that you're using to make it sweet, salty, to kind of break down the bitterness of the leaf, okay? So let's start with the dressing first to get that out of the way, and then we're just gonna mix ingredients. And then as we go through a process, I'm gonna show you how to make it a little bit of the gourmet version of the salad.
Yes.
So you can make it as a salad for everybody to enjoy, and we also gonna represent what a cup.
Yes. Portion is the key.
Portion is the key. Okay. So we're gonna start with the ingredients. I like to start with for the dressing. I'm gonna start with my balsamic vinegar, my champagne vinegar. I use a lot of balsamic. I apologize for that. I use so champagne vinegar. This was found in a supermarket, and we're gonna use. What's that? 1 tablespoon.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. So we go 2 tablespoons. And with this recipe, please measure it. We tend to eyeball it. Well, the vinegar will not do good justice if you eyeball it, okay? And you want to do 2 tablespoons, so it's equal parts of vinegar to oil.
And we're using a very heart-healthy olive oil, very high in the good monounsaturated fat.
Okay. So after the 2 ingredients are here, I'm going to add my garlic. And I want to show you a few things to do with the garlic. So I chopped up some fresh garlic cloves and So I'm going to take, calls for quarter teaspoon or half a teaspoon. One clove, is about half a teaspoon full. So I want to show you that it is diced, and if you have a whole, it'll be whole, correct? But to extract the flavor, so here, when you put them on the dressing, you'll be able to actually bite to it. So it's more of a preference of what you would like. I like to bite it on my salad. So as a dressing, I like to have it where I can eat it and have that texture, and I have that flavor of the garlic that kind of hits you.
Yes.
But if you want to extract a lot more of the flavor and don't have that crunchiness of the garlic, then you can actually mince it this way. So with the side of the knife, just actually breaking it and creating a little paste. And then you can add it to your dressing. Or you can do half and half, whichever. So it's many ways that you can incorporate the garlic into a dressing, and it's all up to your individual flavor. Okay. So let me bring this back.
Or maybe it depends on how much you really like the taste of garlic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. If you like a roast your garlic, some people like to use that elephant garlic that is really big, and you can roast them, and then you can squeeze it into it. Then go.
Works too.
And then I have my silent whisk. No noise. So you whisk that for a second. Okay. Now as you see, I'm mixing it, but I'm not incorporating any air into it. If you want to make it more like this is a champagne vinaigrette. If you want to make it more like a density that is a little bit thick, then this is made by incorporating air, because the olive oil will incorporate the air and will thicken with the air. But this has a lot of sodium.
Yes.
So
significantly more than what we're doing here. To make things yourself, you always have significantly less sodium. And we watch the sodium in our diet because it's good for our heart, our kidneys, blood pressure.
So I got my lime, and what I like to do is press it. This way it breaks down the fibers inside, the connective tissues, and then the juice, it will be easier for me to extract the juice. So you're just going to cut a little incision on the side. And then, you guys seen this around? You know, they even sell them in the supermarket, or they're giving out free. You just stick it inside here. And then twist it. Close the lid. And then squeeze it. And then, there we go. One.
Wow.
You can. Two. A little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan says yeah.
A half of a large lime juiced.
Okay, so that's a half here.
That's great.
Okay, because the other half is actually in the center. So if I cut it in half, it's still intact. I can get a lot more juice out of it.
Right.
Okay. So this way you control the half or the quarter, or how much you're going to add to your dressing. Okay. So that's my lemon. Now my honey.
So this, of course, will add a little bit of sugar. But 1 teaspoon of honey is about 5 grams of carbohydrates. And remember, this will be spread throughout the entire recipe that serves 8. So the amount you would get would be very, very, very minimal. So it just adds a little sweetness, right, Chef, to kind of offset the bitterness of the vinegar.
That's all you need. You just a little bit of a balance between the vinegar and the sweetness.
And honey is just like sugar. It's sugar in your body, but it's just maybe more of a flavor thing too with that.
Correct. Since I like the sugar, so I need to extract every ounce, right, from that tiny little.
Teaspoon.
Come on, nothing's going to be
Maximize.
left out. Oh, absolutely not. Because what do we crave? Of course, sugar, correct?
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, this is not significantly contributing carbohydrates at all to this salad. The carbohydrates are mainly coming from the fruit, but we will get to that.
All right, so here's our dressing. Now, missing the black pepper. You have two choices here. Add it to a dressing that we just made, this vinaigrette, or at the end, just sprinkle on your salad. It's up to you. So let's follow the recipe and let's add it to a dressing. Now I'm just going to pour it.
That was a 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper.
It's a few.
Chef way.
Chef way.
The chef
1/4
way.
teaspoon, chef way. So then I'm going to use the same bowl to add my 10 ounces of spinach.
Baby spinach.
Baby spinach.
Fresh.
Now, how do you know they're baby spinach? Correct? So it's the size of the spinach and the leaves are very tender. And even with the stem, I kind of cut the stem out. You don't have to, because we know that the stem has what? Most of the flavor and the vitamins.
Yes.
Okay? So if you just do the leaf, it looks prettier, but not as nutritional as having the stem part of that. Okay? So here we go. So I'm going to add to the bowl. And if you notice, the bowl has almost no dressing, almost nothing, correct?
Right.
So here is where you make a choice. Do I add the dressing to mix only the leaves and leave the flavor of the strawberries and blueberries and the avocados intact? Or we're going to pour the dressing and mix them all together, correct?
Right.
So we're going to follow a recipe and we're going to put them all together. Okay? That sounds cool. So if it is all together, so we go. A cup of strawberries,
Yes.
half a cup of blueberries, wash. Strawberries are washed.
Yes.
Okay. Do not wash them a day ahead.
Right. Right.
They're going to absorb a lot of that liquid, and it's not, or the water, and it's not. They will get mushy. All right. So I'm going to move this aside for a second, and I'm going to cut my avocado. Right. So.
And once again, we have our heart-healthy avocado, high in monounsaturated fat. We did feature avocado in one of our other cooking demos this year, but again, can always use more healthy ingredients. And our berries, not only are they in season, but they're high fiber. And so fiber sort of delays the sugar going into our bloodstream, so it's a good choice for those living with diabetes and prediabetes, low in calories. And again, tastes great because they're in season.
Absolutely.
And we would use the fresh, of course.
And then when it says you can add a whole avocado into the recipe, knowing me, I'd be fishing all the avocados out. So if I'm the first one serving myself, I feel bad for the rest coming behind me, because they're going to have very little avocado.
And of course, avocado is just contributing calories. It's not contributing carbs. So that would still work, would be okay with your blood sugar.
Absolutely. So you see how I kind of quarter them, and then I just want to slice them.
Adds good contrast to the sweetness, gives it more of a rich flavor.
Oh, yes.
And of course, if you wanted to make it low calorie, you could leave off avocado, Or again, depending on your diet restrictions, you could substitute, or you could take out the avocado if you're watching potassium. We all have different needs, so we need to adjust and make it work for us.
Okay, so now I have some diced red onions.
Oh yes.
Right? I have them here already diced.
Third of a cup.
But now, this is a nice red solid, okay, red onion. And let me show you how to dice them up properly, because there's been a lot of misconceptions with slicing or dicing an onion. So you see how I took out this part? That helps me be able to pull out the outer skin. Fairly simple. Okay. And if you see, I left the bottom untouched. So I'm just going to peel it. I'm going to peel the onion like you peel an onion. So now I cut it. And if you notice, I didn't waste very little to none of the onions. Right? Now we're going to dice it. See how solid the onions are? The layers are very solid. They're not, it's not an old onion that has been sitting around for a long time. So to properly dice it, you are going to just make incisions with a knife 3/4 of the way. And then you're going to cut it across. Now, this is very dangerous. That's why we use a safety glove, okay? Just in case it slips, then safety glove will protect your fingers. And that's your dice. So how much dice is for that?
A third of a cup.
A third of a cup. That's about right.
Yeah. Makes it very colorful.
Absolutely. Now you want to get fancy, then you julienne it, correct? So you can go this way, or you can go, then you slide it. Huh? There's many different ways to do it. Okay? So that's my slices. Okay?
Yes.
What else? So I didn't use my onions, correct?
Yeah.
So now the most critical part is your dressing. So we made it. I don't think we're going to need as much.
Right.
But if nobody's looking, then you can add it. But never mind. Just drizzle a little bit. Use your hands. Wash them. Remember last class? How we learned how to properly wash our hands? Okay. You weren't here.
I wasn't here
Oh
last
my
time.
God, yes, we had a class.
Oh, good.
So it's how to properly wash your hands, and so we have a demo machine that we use.
Great.
So if you have gloves, preferably, so then just toss it with your gloves hand. I'm going to show you what you're looking for. So you see all the leaves are nicely moistened, and if you see, there is no dressing coming out.
Right.
Okay, and that's what you're looking for. Okay. Now you're gonna love this one. This is a serving size.
Yes.
So this little bit of dressing,
Just pour it out.
just pour them out. Then I'm just gonna take my measuring cup.
1 cup.
How big of a cup can I keep?
You're maximizing.
Can I max
cup,
it?
Chef.
Okay.
I think
Why
you're
not?
about max, yeah.
Okay, I'm about max. All right. And then
Although again, this is a fairly low carb salad. I mean, if you're watching calories, that might be another reason to cut back a little bit. Not that it's very high calorie, but
correct. So that's
probably a little more than a cup, but that's okay.
just a little more than a cup. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the cup. Better dietitian? See the dietitians in our world. Now, can I add a strawberry just for decoration?
Of course.
As long as you don't eat it, correct?
Well,
Because then it will
just know
diffuse
it will impact your blood sugar,
Absolutely.
so you can account for that.
Absolutely. So be careful with that. Okay. Now,
Very nice.
you can actually have it in a bowl, having grandkids coming. Now, if you want to do the gourmet version,
Yes.
I kind of prep a little bit. That's why I show you that we can julienne the onion. And then, it's black olives. I can have one black olive, one slice of black olive.
Means nothing.
And then look, just put the onions through. Okay. Don't need to make it uniform, make it a little wacky. Make sure they go different ways. So it shows that the intent of creating something was there. Okay.
Very nice.
So then you can put on top. All right, so I got two, right?
Nice.
Then avocado.
Wow, that's almost a true portion size, Chef.
This is actually a cup right here. So then let's do the avocado. I think since it called for a whole avocado, I think I can put another.
You can.
I think I can do another
Yeah,
slice.
because that's not even. Yeah.
That's not even.
Yeah, that's not even. Yeah, it's a pretty small amount.
All right. Then, if you want to wait, you do it ahead and you have it in the refrigerator, and then you can actually take a teaspoon and drizzle on top. Okay, so
Very nice. Yeah.
So it will look something like this. That's about it.
Very nice.
Okay, a quarter teaspoon.
Okay.
So then you have your
Gourmet version.
your barbecue, your backyard. Let's call it a backyard.
There we go.
And then your formal dining.
Yes.
So that salad will apply for both.
Yes.
Okay. If you have the stems and you like to make it a little prettier, then you can cut. Actually, let me use this one. You can cut the strawberry very simple. Fan it out.
Wow.
And then just, instead of having it like that, you have it with the stem up.
Very nice.
Since I have greens, I didn't find the need to do that because I want to showcase that,
Right.
the reddish of the strawberry. But that's another idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's our spinach, avocado, and summerberry salad.
All right. Very nice.
Okay. Some of the questions could be frozen fruits. We are totally against that. Don't use frozen fruit for that. Frozen food is best for smoothies. Blend them.
Right.
Not good for salad. You want that crunchiness. You want that freshness of the strawberries and the blueberries, and frozen won't do justice.
Right.
No.
This is definitely a summer salad.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
Next.
Let's move on to our herb potato salad.
Herb potato salad. When I got this recipe from you, I'm like, why would she want to do potato salad? I mean, a potato salad, you know what happened to starch in our diabetic body, correct? Within 2 hours, it's nothing but sugar. So, but as I read the recipe, I go, oh, okay, all right. So the recipe is very intriguing. So it calls for non-fat yogurt. So I said, all right, well, what about Greek yogurt? Because we can add a little protein while we add it, right?
Why not?
So, and then instead of the local mayo, I'm really hooked into Veganese or plant-based mayonnaise. or any mayonnaise that is made with olive oil. It works out very well. Okay?
Right.
And then on the recipe, no fresh herbs, dry herbs. And it's a purpose for that. The dry herbs is what helps retain the moisture of the potato after it's cooked, because the potato is 80% water. So then when you cook it, the starch breaks down and then return the moisture, and then it will cook, but the moisture will be there. You let it cool off, and then you mix it with the ingredients, and the herbs and spices will help kind of retain the dryness. It won't allow the moisture as much to happen. So what I did is I have a handy tool here that I use to dice the potatoes, or actually we even dice chicken if we need to, because we want to maintain the exact size.
Right. For the hospital diets.
Yeah, for hospital diets, we have a diet that is called, it has a name, it's called SB6. SB6 represents that the chicken is diced up, or it could be French toast, it could be carrots, it could be potatoes. And then they get mixed with the gravy, but the gravy cannot be too runny. Everything has to be able to grab it with a spoon and hold it. So I said, well, how about, if you do a few potatoes like that, especially it calls for new potatoes, correct, in our recipe?
Yes, 1 pound new potatoes.
1 pound of new potato. And then I'm just taking my little toy here, a potato, and then I just chop them up. One stroke, all done. Nice, beautiful, correct? Yeah. All chopped up. So then you put them on the steam of your rice cooker, and you have your potato steam, correct?
Great idea.
So look at that. Okay, the steam button works perfect, and then you have your potato. Instead of putting it in a pan or a pot with water, because if you have a pot with water and it kind of boils instead of a nice simmer, it will break down. Might as well do mashed potatoes, right? So that this works out perfect. Or I know you don't have my toys. It's okay. So then just put in between your fingers and cut it, slices. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, or do a wedge. So you see how I cut it in half, and then I bring it, slide it out, cut it, and then it's all right there. Okay. So I have them here, already cooked. I have the diced one. I have the dice already cooked. So now it's a matter of making the concoction, I call it, the dressing that we're going to use for the potato salad.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, we have to keep the skins on the potatoes. And tell us why, Chef. Why do we have to keep the skins on our potatoes?
A few things. Number one, most of the nutrients are in the skin.
Yes.
Number two, it prevents the potato from falling apart. Because the new potatoes, if you cook it without the skin, it will fall apart. They will just disintegrate. But the skin has most of the nutrients, actually. The majority of the nutrients.
And the fiber, it has the little bit of fiber is in there too.
Okay.
So I chose this recipe so everyone can see that we can still enjoy some of our summertime favorites, but we can enjoy it in a more healthy way, that it tastes just as good or even better than our traditional high-fat, high-sodium potato salad that we might get at like you said, a picnic, a barbecue, something like that.
Correct. And let me tell you a secret. This mayonnaise is not made with eggs. the yogurt doesn't contain any eggs. So when this mayonnaise is at room temperature, it will last a little longer than your typical, correct, potato salad. You leave the potato salad in the summer, you
Right.
start bubbling,
Yeah.
and then that
Right.
egg will start getting
Yeah. Yuck.
spoil, and then
Right.
the spoiling process will begin. This will take, actually this will just get watery before it gets
Okay.
spoiled. Okay, so we have the potatoes. They're already cooked. They're already cold here.
Right.
Okay, so I got my potatoes. So I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of the yogurt. Okay.
Yes.
So we go 1, 2. I'm gonna use this one. 3. Okay. Then we have our Dijon mustard,
Yes. 1.5 teaspoons.
1.5 teaspoon.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
For the flavor.
And it helps. I got 1. As you can tell, I've been really good trying to measure everything correctly. All right, 1.5. What did I bring so much mustard? I don't know.
That's okay.
Okay, so we got 1.5 mustard, teaspoon of mustard to 3 tablespoons of yogurt.
Right.
And then I'm gonna add my mayonnaise, which is
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. Can I? No? No, I guess not.
Well, it is low fat, but
I guess you
I
have
don't
to
know.
do.
yeah, that's a little better.
That's a little better. All right. I'm just trying, guys, girls. I'm just giving it a shot to see if Megan will say, oh yeah, that mayonnaise is, made of olive oil. Go ahead, put 2 tablespoons. What do you mean 1? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna mix this up a little bit before I add
Your herbs.
my herbs and my garlic and my. Okay. How much garlic, Megan?
1/2 teaspoon chopped garlic.
Only that? 1/2 teaspoon.
So they're encouraging people living with diabetes to eat at least 2 plant-based meals per week. So I think it's great. This would be, I think, a good opportunity to try something like the vegan mayonnaise if you've never tried that before, because it's mixed in. It might be different than just maybe having it on a sandwich or something. So I'm going to encourage people to try. And even the plain non-fat yogurt, you never know this.
Correct.
This
Give it a
is
shot.
reduced fat, but it's high in flavor with all these herbs and things and garlic to give it, and the mustard to give it flavor.
All right, so we're gonna use thyme, and then just 1/2 teaspoon, correct?
Quarter
No,
for the
1/4
thyme.
teaspoon. Wrong one. Here we go. Here we go. 1/4 right here. I've been good, Megan.
Yes, you have
1/4.
been.
And then on the basil,
It's a half for the basil. Okay.
Now, if you have at home, you know those herbs that they call herbs de Provence? This would go well here. Just saying. And then onion powder, 1/4.
A quarter.
There you go, onion powder.
And onion powder and garlic powder are good ways to add flavor without the salt, as opposed to onion salt or garlic salt.
Correct.
And we do have salt as an option in this recipe.
See how nice that looks? And we haven't had the green onions or the celery yet. So let's get on.
Right.
So
Okay.
green onions
Have a
is
color.
half a cup. So I'm gonna take,
Yes.
sorry, here you go. These little cups are so easy to use.
And green onions don't add many calories, so you could do a little more if you needed to on this. It depends
Are
on
you
the
kidding me?
flavor.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have very much calories in it. It depends on how much onion
That's good.
flavor you
Yeah,
want in
I
your
got it, I got
potato
it.
salad.
Yeah, half is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Then a free advertisement, if you go to the cafeteria at Hogue or Irvine, Newport Beach, this size cup of soup is $1.55.
Ooh.
Okay, and we make really good soups. Okay, so we got the green onions. What is missing? My salad.
Celery.
Okay, so let me open up some room. Celery is about half a cup, correct?
1 cup.
1 full cup. There you go. So it's not, can you see it?
Yeah, should we move the bowl over
let's
so
move the
they
bowl
can
here.
see you cutting the celery? Okay.
There we go. So one of the tricks we use, we make sure they don't roll around. So taking a little time at the beginning of the game, it saves a lot of knuckles. Okay, so then you can slice it this way. You see how I am using my knuckles as a guide? So actually my front knuckle is touching the knife and guiding it. And then my back thumb and my little finger actually holding the product together. Okay? And then I just slice away. This way I don't have to slice one at a time, correct?
Right.
Because then we'll be here what?
For a long time.
A long time. And guess what time is? Money. Right? Time is money. So when I see one of my cooks just going one by one, I go, are you in salary or are you by the hour?
Yeah.
Anyway. Cup? No, a little less.
Again, very minimal calories, no carbs, so that's fine. You can go a little over.
Can I press? Can I use a
yes.
version of packed?
Yes.
Packed.
A packed cup.
Packed cup of.
Yes, you can for
of
the
le-
celery.
of
That's
the celery.
not gonna change the
There we go.
nutritional value very
There we
much.
go. Okay. And the celery, besides adding some of the flavor, it just gives you that crunchiness.
crunch, yes.
Oh my God, it
Very
tastes
good.
okay.
Contrast, yeah.
So you see how dry my my mixture is, because that's the way it should be for the potatoes. Because the
Right.
potatoes are going to release some moisture as it sits, right? So actually, let me see if I can show if there is moisture. No, sorry, I am that good. Okay, so we said a pound of potato. So this is about
About 4 cups. It
4
says.
cups. All right, here we go. We're measuring again.
Yes, I see that.
Let's have fun. Actually, this is less than 1, correct?
We may not have enough.
Over here, I got plenty. 2.
My advice is to use real measuring cups, but you can do it chef's way too, I suppose. Nutrition might be a little off, but
3.
3.
I think that's 4.
Okay. If you think it's 4, it's 4.
Oh my God, yes. Look at that. Got no salt yet.
Right.
So-
No salt at all yet.
So you taste it if you like it with no salt. Good. If not, then a little pinch of salt. And guess what? The salt does is hot. Salt is hot. It will actually bring the rest of the ingredients that you have in there and bring out that flavor because it's naturally hot. So sometimes a little pinch of salt will go a long way. You don't need to. So shall we?
Yeah, I think that's a better idea than the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon, but I think a pinch
just
is
a pinch.
just to give it a little enhanced flavor. Throw some over your shoulder. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm not in my kitchen. Who vacuums here? Sorry. Okay. And the serving size?
1 cup. Your
1
favorite.
cup.
1 cup.
Look this here.
There we go.
That's your serving size.
Yep.
1 cup. So it will look like that. Or, and let me put it again here.
So all we're missing is maybe some protein. We've got a balanced meal.
Correct.
Our carbs, a nice salad.
And I gave you a little garnish with a potato that is not being dressed with the dressing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the reason for the new potato salads, you can make it with any potato. The reason with the new potato is it's just simpler. The skin is nice and thin. It's very soft. It's easy to eat. I actually buy this by the bags, just like that. I soak them in salt water, clean them up a little bit, and then throw them in my barbecue.
Oh.
And then as they're roasting, I just either salt, pepper, and that's it. And I just let them cook. And it takes about 5 to 7 minutes, and they're done. And it's plenty of them to go around for the kids, for any barbecue chicken or ribs. I love ribs. I just can only have 1 bone. Yeah, they watch me like a hawk.
Do they?
Yeah,
I bet they do.
Oh yeah, only 1 bone. That's it. That because of
Right.
the barbecue sauce, correct?
Right, right.
Barbecue
Okay.
sauce is nothing but molasses, brown sugar.
It's just all sugar,
all
basically.
sugar, right? So, 1 bone. But I go 1 bone now, 1 bone later, 1 bone at a time.
Which
correct?
you could if you spread it out, not all at one time, right? And then, of course, the potatoes will have an effect on your blood sugar as well. And
Absolutely.
everyone's different, so you just have to keep testing and know how it works for you and what your portion size should be.
And that's later, correct? Because
Right.
within 2 hours,
Right.
your sugar is, so you have the barbecue ribs right now,
Yeah.
spiking your sugar, and then you think you have it under control, and then 2 hours later, the potato is transformed into sugar in your body, and boom, there we go. Before you know, your sugar is 300.
Hopefully
Your
not
sugar
that
level
high.
300 or something. Yeah. So, life experience is. I'm a chef. I've been in this industry since I was 18 years old. I developed diabetes when I was in my 30s, and I'm 60 now. And my doctor says that my physicals I do every year, if it wasn't for diabetes, you're perfect. And it's because I manage my diabetes. And trust me, some of my A1Cs, it be in the 9. And so then I go, okay, now I need to rethink what is it that is causing that 9, because the A1C is like an expansion of about 3 months of
Correct.
how your sugar has been within 3 months.
Right.
And then it reads, I don't know how exactly it does, so you know that.
So it's the average of your blood sugar over 3 months. So it measures the amount of sugar molecules that are attached to your red blood cells, which have a life of 3 months. So it's overall how you're doing.
So when it's in the 9, I simplify in my head so this way I can do something about it. And the way I simplify it is, okay, if I keep it this way, my blood could turn into honey. And then my heart will have a really hard time pumping that honey, correct?
Right.
And then my extremities are the ones that are going to suffer the first, especially your feet, all right? So bring it down, make those life adjustments. Life adjustment, little adjustment over time go a long way. I check your feet every day.
Yes.
They're cracking. Why are they cracking? Don't just put a Band-Aid or or try to soak it into cream it, or just find out why they're cracking. Why did you check? I check here because I have the Freestyle Libre.
Yes.
Sorry, I mean, it's not an advertisement, but I had the I wore the pump,
You wore the Dexcom, the continuous
Dexcom,
glucose monitor.
and then it has the continuous glucose monitors, but it beeps, and it always beeps when I'm in a meeting and it's really quiet. I go, okay, no. So the Freestyle Libre gives me a flexibility of doing it. So I call it my Freestyle Libre while working, and the Dexcom 2 when I'm retired. So I try both. I love the Dexcom continuous glucose monitor because it reads into my pump. It gives me more access.
It does.
But that's retirement age. Right now, my Freestyle is working out really good for me, so I'm really happy. But please make sure you, diabetes friends, stay healthy, eat right, and we can have all the food we want. And like I always said in the classes, if you eat 3 meals a day, which we're not supposed to eat big meals, it's just little meals throughout the day. But let's say you're in that habit of eating big meals, 3 meals a day, and so it's 21 meals a week. And one of those meals being a bad meal, it's okay. Right. It's okay with the grandkids. It's okay with, correct? Yes. Having that burger, however, you don't want to alienate yourself and, I can't have that.
Right.
It's about learning that, that bad meal is only today out of 21 meals.
Right.
It's not 21 meals, 20 meals bad and one good and okay.
Right.
Part of my diet, I eliminated cheese, I eliminated milk, I eliminated some of those little habits that you have with milk and coffee, and to make that. So I made those changes in my life, and it's been working out pretty good. And especially now that I'm getting retirement age, I want to last, correct? Yes. I don't want to retire and then that's it, right? What do you do?
Fall apart.
Fall apart.
I hope not.
We can do that.
Right. Yes, well, thank you for sharing that, Chef. I think that's very practical. Obviously, it's your life story, and I, of course, totally agree. These are lifestyle changes that we can make. I like the little by little, incorporating it in. You don't have to do everything overnight. We are here to help you as well at the Marion Dick Allen Diabetes Center at Hoag. We do require a doctor's referral for any educational services that you might need, but we are here to help. So if you are, like Chef was saying, you have a high A1C, or even if you just want to come in for a little refresher or need help with weight loss, whatever it might be, we're here to help you. Okay, let's go ahead and do some questions here, sure. Chef. What is the safest way to wash berries to remove pesticides or other chemicals? I'm going to turn that to you.
Oh, so take 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to a gallon of water, and then dip any fruit or vegetables in it, and that will kill any bacteria or anything on it. So 1 teaspoon to 1 gallon. So 1 tablespoon of vinegar to 1 gallon of water.
Okay.
That is a rule of thumb that we use. I don't use it in our kitchen because we have like we call it a pre-washed vegetable, a mixture that goes with water, and it's all because I do about 60 gallons at a time, and then we wash apples, strawberries, celery, green onions. Right. Everything gets dipped in different, and then we check the concentration, and we have different concentrations that allows us to use, so we know what the potency of the chemical, not chemical, is it's a chemical. Once it mixes with water, it becomes a disinfectant of the product. So then we test to see how the potency is, and then as it diminishes, then we make a new tank and then continue. So it's a continuing way of doing it. And
would you clean it right before you eat it, right? You wouldn't just clean it and put it back in the refrigerator like strawberries or something?
Correct.
Okay.
So you store your strawberries in your refrigeration, and in your refrigerator it has the drawers for it, and right. they are meant for that. They're meant for to have some of them has a little like a window that you right. open, so you allow air, so it doesn't have moisture that can create fungus or mold in the berries.
Okay.
And then Wash them, eat them. That's a rule of thumb.
Right. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, please go ahead and put those in and we will get those answered. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for the questions for today.
All the questions?
Hopefully, today's cooking demo has taught you some new things, maybe that you didn't know before, and of course has encouraged you to try some healthier versions of our summer favorites. Again, it's good to try new things, and like Chef was saying, slowly incorporate things into your lifestyle. We like these as lifestyle changes, not as diets, but healthy eating and healthy living. And I also like to put in there that exercise can also help in the management of your blood sugars and diabetes, just to also help to keep it well controlled.
Correct. And exercise meaning you exercise of your heart. Make sure you have that cardio in it.
Right,
So,
right.
if you do this only and exercise this way, that doesn't do any cardio to your heart, so it won't change anything.
Right. So we need the exercises exactly that get our hearts pumping. Walking is good, or now that it's summertime, I know a lot of people are getting into the pool again, which is nice. Or we can do some outdoor activities, but we want our heart to pump. The American Diabetes Association recommends 30 minutes 5 days a week or more, just for that heart healthy aerobic exercise. So see how you can, again, that's another goal or something else you can incorporate into your lifestyle as a lifestyle change. And we want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
And so many people with COVID, they put in their own homes tracks where they walk brisk, and this section will be a hard walk and then slow and then hard walk, and so a lot of people created in their own backyard many different ways to exercise. So if you're the type of person that says, I don't want to go outside because I don't want Susie to see me wearing this or whatever that case might be. So then you're doing in your own backyard, and have the comfort wearing whatever you want to wear.
Okay. And we hopefully have time for maybe one more question. What protein would be good with the spinach salad? What about chicken?
I'm okay with chicken. I'd rather have a nice tofu, marinated grilled tofu.
Okay.
So tofu is a clone, correct? So you can make it taste whatever you want to do. So a nice marinade. Normally the tofu goes really well with Asian marinades, which are very high in salt and sugar. But if you dilute it and you cut that in half, and how do you dilute it? Let's say you take, for example, low sodium soy sauce, correct?
Okay.
But that low sodium soy sauce has a lot of salt.
Yes.
Okay, just dilute it in half, and then when you dip your tofu in it, will take some of that flavor, and then when you grill it, it will caramelize it, and it will give you that nice taste, that nice flavor. That is not like if you're eating the tofu without anything, and then you mix it with the salad, it will be fantastic.
That does sound fantastic.
And chicken, grilled chicken, you can't go wrong with chicken. I like to have my 4 ounces of beef once a week. I crave that, and it helps with my protein level.
Okay.
To have at least 4 ounces of meat a week, and that's just me. Okay, that's the way I try to manage it. If I do chicken, I think I do chicken once a week, beef once a week, and I might do 2-3 times a week. I do salmon.
That's great. Yeah, very heart-healthy fish.
Yeah.
And I suppose you could do salmon. Probably too.
Correct.
With
salmon.
that as well.
A nice grilled salmon on top of, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Remember, because it has fruit, it doesn't take away from having a protein in it, right?
Okay.
So by having the fruit in it, it just makes it that much better.
Right.
Most of the most popular salsas are mango salsa, and actually, the most popular is mango salsa.
Yes.
You make mango salsa. Everybody wants mango salsa in the salmon or their tacos. So,
right.
So.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good. Well, any last words from you, Chef?
I got many words. I can stand here and talk all day long. That's what I love to do. I haven't cooked a day in my life. I love what I do, and I think having this venue to be able to present to people and having them explore different menu ideas or different ideas on how to and different ingredients, then the more I can help out, the happier I am.
Right.
Right. Just one thing. Last week, a vendor came to me and said, I have a sugar-free caramel sauce. I go, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean a sugar-free caramel sauce? And I do have it, and it just tastes fantastic. So I'm developing some recipes with it just for him and for me to understand that a little bit more. And it has a little bit of vanilla flavor, but I asked him, if you take the vanilla out of it, because I would like to make a sauce that goes on top of tofu, goes on top of edamames, mix it with the salad. So that's what I'm playing with it now. And trust me, I just don't go to work just to play. I manage a huge kitchen and I help out in Irvine. But this is my passion. I love what I do, and I enjoy testing new items that come across my desk.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Chef Cruz, for being here and for all your great insight. Please join us for our next cooking demonstration, which is Tuesday, August 17th. You can go online to register, and we hope you've enjoyed our presentation. So have a great summer, stay healthy, and let us know if you need anything.